All right, so we're diving deep into American fried chicken today.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'm hungry already.
Me too.
So, got some excerpts here from a text all about its history, and then the recipe.
Okay.
I think it's fascinating how a dish that seems so simple,
Right.
can have such a rich history.
It really is.
Yeah, and a complex story.
I mean, food, it's so much more than just,
Yeah,
what we eat to sustain ourselves.
right.
It's really a reflection of culture and history and tradition.
Yeah,
And I think fried chicken is like a prime example of that.
totally. I was reading in this text about Scottish immigrants
Okay.
and their role in the history.
Interesting.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, this might surprise you.
Okay.
But Scottish immigrants brought with them a tradition of deep frying chicken.
Okay.
It wasn't just any frying, though.
Uh-huh.
They had this very specific technique
Right.
that they were aiming to achieve to get this certain crispy texture.
Right. And that technique became a key foundation for what we now know as American fried chicken.
Wow. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So how did that Scottish tradition kind of evolve and change into the American dish we know and love?
Well, that's where the influence of West African culinary traditions comes in.
Okay.
So enslaved people, they brought with them incredible knowledge, expertise in seasoning and flavoring.
Right. Right.
So when you combine that with the Scottish frying techniques,
Yeah.
you really get this unique fusion of flavors and textures.
Wow.
And that blend is what gives American fried chicken its distinct character.
It's interesting. I was also curious about the buttermilk marinade.
Right.
I've heard that's like a really important step.
Yeah.
But I don't really know why. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like a strange ingredient.
Kind of weird.
Would have put chicken in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It is. But there's a very practical reason for it.
Okay.
So buttermilk is naturally acidic.
Okay.
And that acidity is really important for tenderizing the chicken.
Okay.
So it basically breaks down the proteins in the meat,
Ah.
which results in a more tender and juicy final product.
So it's not even just like a flavor thing.
Right.
It's actually like changing the texture
So
of the
it's
chicken,
right.
like on a molecular level.
On a molecular level.
That's incredible.
Science.
That is science.
Yeah.
So speaking of flavor,
Yeah.
the recipe mentions seasoned flour.
Oh, yeah.
What's so special about that?
Seasoned flour, it's not just there to coat the chicken.
Okay.
It's like this carefully crafted blend, you know?
Yeah.
Each ingredient is really contributing to both the flavor and the final texture. So, for example, paprika, which many people think is just for color,
I thought that too.
it actually adds a subtle smokiness to the chicken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know paprika could do that.
Yeah, it's true.
I just thought it was like,
Aesthetics.
yeah, like an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
So are there like different kinds of paprika then?
There are different types of paprika.
Wow.
Yeah, each with their own like distinct flavor profile.
Huh.
Some are sweet, some are smoky, some are even a little bit spicy.
Wow.
And depending on the region, you'll find different types of paprika being used in fried chicken recipes.
Oh, interesting. Like regionally?
Yeah, it's all part of those like
right.
regional variations that make fried chicken so diverse.
Yeah, yeah.
And interesting.
Cool. So we've marinated the chicken in buttermilk.
Yes.
We've coated it in this seasoned flour.
We have
And now comes the frying.
the main event.
Yeah, the recipe mentions that oil temperature is really important.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, that's where the science of heat transfer comes into play.
Okay.
So maintaining a consistent oil temperature, ideally around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, is really important to ensure that the chicken cooks evenly.
Okay, yeah.
If the oil is too cool, the chicken will absorb too much oil and become greasy.
Oh, right.
And if it's too hot, the outside will burn before the inside's cooked through.
Oh, I see.
So you want that like consistent heat
Yeah.
to allow the crust to get golden and crispy
Yeah.
while ensuring that the chicken cooks through perfectly.
It's like a balance
It's a balance.
of time and temperature.
It is.
It really makes you appreciate the skill involved
Absolutely.
in making like really good fried chicken.
For sure.
And of course, we can't forget about the sides.
Oh, the sides are essential.
Yeah, like mashed potatoes,
yes,
coleslaw, biscuits, all that. It all seems to go so well.
They do.
With fried chicken.
They really do.
It's so good.
It's all part of the experience.
Yeah.
You know, and those sides, they're not just an afterthought.
Yeah.
You know, they really speak to the cultural significance of fried chicken.
Okay.
So especially in the American South,
right,
fried chicken is more than just a dish.
Yeah.
It represents family gatherings, shared meals, a sense of community.
It's an event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, and those sides often complement the flavors of the chicken and really create this complete and satisfying meal.
Wow. So we went from like a pretty simple recipe to this like really fascinating exploration of cultural fusion and culinary techniques and the social significance of food.
It's amazing how much you can learn.
It really is.
From a single dish.
It's true.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about.
It does.
All the other foods that we eat and the stories that they hold.
I know.
So next time you're enjoying some fried chicken, maybe just take a moment to think about the journey it took to get to your plate.
Absolutely.
From Scottish frying techniques to West African seasonings. Yeah. From the science of buttermilk to the cultural importance of sides.
All of it.
Yeah. It's a dish with like a really rich past.
Very rich.
So what other foods do you think have a similar story?
Good question.
Thanks for joining us on this delicious deep dive.
This was fun.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
Me too.